Hi there, thanks for coming by PosterCentral.com's video blog today. I'm Pete Howard, and here's a remarkably historic concert poster from the San Fran Bay Area. Very simply, this is the world's first concert poster to say Bill Graham presents. And so that just by itself makes it incredibly special. There you go, Bill Graham presents in pink letters, San Francisco Mime Troupe Dance-Concert. And the image is has familiarity to collectors and fans alike, but it's just a really sweet poster, and it's great to be able to blog this one for you today. The first concert poster. There were other earlier posters of Bill Graham Presents that were the mime troupe that he worked for, which I also have blogged. But let's get to the concert part first, because music is probably why you and I are here. So this is the world's first concert poster to have Bill Graham Presents. So it's a Hall of Fame piece right there, I guess you could say. So this is January 14th of 1966. It's the third and final Mime Troupe Appeal Party concert, dance concert, to raise money to cover legal fees for the SF Mime Troupe, of which Bill was the business manager. But what's funny is by this time he was really pulling away from the Mime Troupe. After he did his Appeals 1, he knew what was going on. He was hooked on these the dance concerts and the new sound of San Francisco, and in wanting to be the impresario of his own building, the Fillmore. And this, as a matter of fact, is his second ever Fillmore concert here. It says Fillmore Auditorium down there in the bottom in black letters. The Appeals 2 was his first, and this is his second ever, 5 weeks later, Fillmore Dance Concert by Bill Graham. So more history there to really lap up. However, interestingly enough, you know, the first Appeals concert 5 weeks before that had a whole bunch of politics and everything and just a little bit of music. And the second Appeals handbill and poster had a lot more music and so forth, but not Bill Graham Presents on it. And by now, Bill is totally fed up with the Mime Troupe and their radical politics and all this, and he just wants to get going on his own business. And so for the third one, obviously, as I said, his name's at the top, and it says, the Mime Troupe Dance Concert, nothing about appeals or raising funds or anything like that. It's just, this is Bill really asserting himself in his new business. It's just straight ahead with music and everything. So, it's another step by Bill away from the Mime Troupe and toward his own business. And probably with his own career in mind, as a matter of fact, for this show he decided to pay the musicians, which he hadn't done for the first two Mime Troupe benefits, and in his autobiography, Bill said, "I paid everybody's scale." So, speaking of everybody, let's take a look at the acts. There you have the Great Society with Grace Slick, kind of funny. She's rocking back on her boot heels there in a funny picture. And then you've got the Mystery Trend, very seminal San Francisco rock band. And nice to see Ron Nagel and company there in a photograph on a concert poster instead of just psychedelic lettering. Then you've got Sam Thomas and the Gentleman's Band down there. And then over here, with no photograph, an interesting story, you've got the Grateful Dead, formerly the Warlocks. And this was a little bit of Bill Graham already asserting something of himself. One could argue stepping over bounds a little bit. He had known them as the Warlocks and enjoyed them and so forth. And they told him, we have this new name we're sticking with now, the Grateful Dead. And he didn't like it. He thought it was a weird name or sort of spooky. Maybe you and I did too, the very first time we ever heard it. But so he sort of compromised and he called them both on this poster. And it's interesting how inside the box more prominently is the Warlocks, and then above that it says the Grateful Dead. Maybe he thought they were going to change their mind back or something, but interesting story behind that. But that makes this one of the very first and possibly only the second concert poster ever to say the Grateful Dead, because the acid test tall, thin goldenrod poster, which started, it was a little bit of a tour blank, which came into use in December of '65, the month before this, did say the Grateful Dead on it. But this is probably almost certainly the first standard 14 by 22 inch cardboard telephone pole boxing style concert poster to have the Grateful Dead on it. So that's, pretty historic for that reason. That's pretty darn cool. So Bill Graham, boy, he was really on his way, wasn't it? The Mime Troupe, they went their way and Bill went his, and safe to say Bill became a little bit more famous. Next up for Bill Graham, and the Grateful Dead for that matter, the following weekend after this was the Trips Festival at Longshoremen's Hall, and oh my goodness, was that a historic event as well. So boy, January '66 was really something. So, hope you enjoyed this rare piece of concert memorabilia. Really a fine one. The first, Bill Graham's first on-concert poster as presents. And I wonder how many hundreds and hundreds and hundreds came after this. They're well documented, of course, but I wonder what the actual number is up until his death in 1991. So, hope you enjoy the rarity. Really fun stuff here. Really fun to show it to you. And thanks a lot for coming by. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.